Alright guys, now we just got this bolt right here. It's a 15 millimeter. So I'm going there. Can't get my cordless ratchet in there. So let's get this bolt tight and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is our ABS pump. Now you guys probably say, I'm going to leave that alone, man. But we can't do that. So we got our bushing on one side, and we got our bushing on this side. It fits right inside there. So what we got to do is I got to make sure the other side is in here. Okay, I can hold that in place. Push that in. Something's not. There we go. Okay. Put a 13 millimeter nut on it. And let's go get our 13 millimeter socket and tighten that up. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm going to be using a speed wrench because on this side you can only get a speed wrench on that nut. So might as well just go to this side as well. Both of them tightened up and we'll be right back. Okay. Alright, that's out of the way. We got some dirty gloves down here. Alright guys, we are looking good, man. Dang it, we're looking good. Alright, what's over here? What's next on the party line, Sivvy?
The tensioners.
I didn't even know that. Simply paying attention. Alright. Which side goes to what? I don't know, but we did mark them. Left and right. See? That's cool. So, this is the right side. Now, when you put your tensions on, you're going to have the bolt hole and you're going to have a little hole right there. That's where that little part right there sticks out. That's going to line up right to that. So, you got to make sure the threads are going to line up right there. And that little pin is going to just grind right into there. Put it on, and that's how you're going to tighten that up. On the left side, the same thing. But this time, it's right there. So, let me put that in, and make sure that's lined up. And those are like 15 millimeter bolts. So, let's get our 15 millimeter. Those are my cordless impact. Hold it into place and tighten that up. Hold this one into place and tighten that up. That's looking good. Yeah, boy. Alright guys, let's move on to the next step. We'll be right back. Alright guys, next in line is the water pump pulley. So we take our bolts out. And as I've always told you, when you put these in, definitely got to go for a couple threads to make sure you're not cross-threading. So we're just going to look on there and try to line up one of the bolt holes. There we go. Couple threads. Couple threads. And what we're going to be using is our cordless impact nut driver. And we're going to be using a 10 millimeter shallow socket. 3/8 drive. That way, you're definitely going to be able to tighten it up enough. Without things spinning. Look at that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, I have no idea. What the heck is this right here for? What the heck do you got these bolts here for? I don't know, something part of the party line. But we do have two 18 millimeter bolts. This one I'm not going to tighten up yet because that one goes in. But we can definitely go ahead and tighten that up. So let's switch on 18 millimeter. And get that bolt tightened up. Okay. And again, this one we can bring it. If you want, we can bring it in. Okay. And let's move on to our next step. We'll be right back.
Okay, go ahead.
The belts are next. The first one is the power steering pump, since that's the one way in the back. So let's get this one over here. Get it up here. You know what? Let's go around here. Go around here. Okay. Now. Yeah, this has got to go counterclockwise, no, clockwise, to bring this out like this. Get the belt on. Okay, make sure all the pulleys are lined up, and then release the tension. Dang it.
Drop your tool, and everything is good. Yes?
See if you get anything for Christmas this year.
Oh, I will.
Alright, that one's the one. Now, for the alternator.
We need to take a break.
Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, now for the alternator and water pump. Let's get that on there. Actually, let's get it on there first. Come through, go around. Okay, just like that. Same thing, clockwise. Wait a minute. Oops, no, that's wrong. Because I told him to put the belt on the wrong way. I'm gonna do this without looking up a thing. So, let's see how we do this now. It ain't really, yeah, okay. Wait. There, do I have it right? Let's see here. Dang it. Sylvia's waiting for me to say, look up a routine. We're gonna do this without looking up a routine.
Because I told him I'd look one up for him, and he said, no, I don't need it.
I don't.
All right,
It's for
do
punks.
it then.
I am. I'm doing it right now. Watch.
Okay.
Watch this. Watch this. You gotta go up here. This is where it's gonna go. That's how it's gotta go. Yeah, buddy. Look at that.
What?
She's like, what? How did he figure some mess out like that?
How can that baby go on or up there over the... Okay, when you pick it up, it's okay. I don't see you putting it in, so to you.
And then release it. Yeah, buddy. I know y'all like, Tim is the man. How did he figure that out? Is there anything that dude can do?
Oh my gosh.
All right, that is on, man. This is looking great. All right, next in the party line is the cooling fans. But you know what, guys? Let's hold off from the cooling fans and let's bring our wiring harness over here. Because, you know, actually...
Doesn't that go after the valve cover?
Yeah, so... But see, I think maybe we should put the valve covers on now.
Did you do the spark plugs?
No.
So do the spark plugs.
I can do what I want. I'll put the valve covers on.
Lordy heavens.
Alright, let's get this old silicone off of here. Be on the four corners. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna do the valve covers next.
Why not the spark plugs?
Alright, we'll do the spark plugs next.
Okay.
Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got 6 brand new NGK Iridium plugs. Now we're going to show you how to do one, then the rest of them you're on their own. Now NGK says never use any anti-seize or anything on it. You lie. If that thing seizes up inside the head, nowhere up there do they say they're responsible, they'll pay anything. So you grab you some anti-seize and just take a little bit around the threads.
What happened to the Q-tip thing? That looks messy.
Yeah. Around the thread, that's maybe a little bit too much, just like that. Okay. Now, if you don't have a magnetic spark plug socket, like I don't, I just use like a 5/16 hose. Hook it onto it. Grab your 16mm or 5/8 socket, deep, 6-inch 3/8 drive extension, and your 3/8 drive ratchet. Come over to the car. And you're going to have your 6 ports.
Okay.
As you can see, I'm going to do this one over here.
Hold up.
I'll just show you.
Sheesh.
Alright. So that's all you do. Just take your spark plug.
Throw it in there.
Yeah, drop it down. Lower it down. Turn it by a couple threads to make sure it ain't going cross-threaded. Take your hose up. Then go ahead and tighten it. And when you tighten this up, you just want to go till it stops and a little bit more. That's it. Alright, let's get the other 5 done and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to be doing is installing our valve covers. Now before we install our valve covers, it's known this 3.6 has a poor ventilation, crank ventilation. It's because this is the hose, or the vent hose right here. And we just took a wire brush so you can see it. Those 2 little ports right there, those are supposed to be cleared so it can breathe. And if you want, what I did was just blew a little bit air into that, and it could tell it was messed up. So what I'm doing is taking a timing chain, a timing tensioner pin, and I'm gonna, this goes a little bit lighter so I can set this down. Alright, and hopefully this is long, this is thin enough to go in there. Dang it, no it's not. Alright, let me get something smaller. Be right back. Alright, I got something better. A 16th drill bit. And what I'm going to do here is, dang it. Dang it. I hate these drill bits when you gotta tighten them up by hand, man. These things never tighten up enough. Or am I weak? I must have been weak.
Without that.
That's 2. And if you want the top one, and that's 3. Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So let's turn these over. Which one goes where? Okay. Switch them up. Like that. All right, then let's get us a rag. Wipe these out. We're going to be using Victor Rain's valve covers, gaskets. There's the part number.
Give me. Okay.
Alright, now your gaskets are going to have little tabs sticking out around the gasket. Let me see, just it should be more than that, man. But also the end of it is made like a little arrow, and that's so when you push it down there, it'll stay into place while you install it. So now you just gotta sit here and figure out which one is what and what. Okay, this one goes over there. This one goes over here. And let me see how this. No. Okay, that looks like about right. And that's all you do. If you get a cheap gasket, you're gonna push this into place, and it's not gonna stick. So get a good name brand. Cause see, when I turn this over, what I just pushed in, it stayed right there. All right. So just go around and push the gasket in. Now you notice I'm skipping over. I'm just getting it all set. Then I'm gonna go back around. Now you see these, there's 2 points on this gasket you want to pay close attention to. Right here and right here. That's gonna be each one. That's where the timing cover meets the cylinder head. So you're gonna put gasket maker on this edge so it can make sure it seals up. So now that we got it around, then you want to go around and just make sure the whole thing is in. Alright, let's get this one done and then the other one done, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so next we're going to do, get some grease and all, put it around spark plug tube seals so they can go on with no problem. Okay, it doesn't matter what you use. Just use something.
I can use olive oil.
If that'll work too. That will definitely work. Alright, now that we got that done, grab your gasket maker. And we're going to do this valve cover first. We're going to do the right side. So what you're going to do is a googly glob right there and a googly glob right there. You got about 5 seconds to get this thing set down, or the gasket maker's not going to work no more. So,
lie.
So let's get this on. Make sure everything is out of the way.
Don't drag it.
Yeah, don't drag it. You see, I'm putting it down like that. All right. Your spark plug tube seals are lined up, and just push down. Now you don't have to worry about doing putting the bolts in that yet. Now we're gonna go over here, put some
Googly
right
glob.
there. Yeah, googly glob. Corner.
It's not glob.
It's whatever you want it to be, Sibby. All right, make sure everything's out of the way. Over. This one, I might bend the whole lot of this. Okay. And push down. Make sure nothing's in the way. And that is good. Man, this is looking good. Then grab all your bolts, your 10mm bolts. And you're just gonna, as I told you, put them in by a couple threads, just so we're not cross-threading them. All right, so let's get all of them in, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. Now I'm not gonna sit here and show you how to tighten up both these valve covers. I mean, gonna show mine. Now I'm gonna show you one though. Now what you're gonna do is tighten it up from the center bolts and work your way out. So we're gonna this one's right here in the middle, or you can start from right here. We're gonna start from right there. Now these bolts, if you notice, it's got this shaft on it, and then it just the threading. You can only tighten this bolt up to that right there. Then it connects with the cylinder head and then stops. So don't try to sit here and over tighten them. So I'm gonna start from the center. Now a good way what you want to do is, you notice majority of your bolts is down here at the bottom. That's because see how the engine is set? That means all the oil drains out towards that way, so they put enough of bolts down there. So what I like to do is start from down here, and what you're gonna do, bring the bolt, or look up the torque, I don't care.
Don't ask.
Don't ask. Bring it down till it stops, and a little bit more. That's it. Now I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. You see what I'm doing? I'm going, as I'm going out, I'm working my way around. That's how you do it. So I'm gonna go 1, I did that one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one already, yeah. And then I'll go the outside, and then there's one right back here. As long as you got these two ends last, you'll be good to go. So let's get all of them tightened up, and then the same thing with this one. Let's get them tightened up. And remember, bring it, go down till it stops, and a little bit more. That's it. All right, let's get them all tightened up, and we'll be right back. All right. It is looking good. Our next step is going to be our intake. Now, first of all, we're going to do is clean up all this. You can just wipe all this off. Turn it over. Then you got to clean. We're going to clean up where the gasket goes around there. And we got our 2 bolts already set in there, so we're going to take those bolts out and clean up around here. Now, when you're cleaning up around this, take some rags. And
why don't you put the rag in there? How you doing in between?
Then you just gotta. You're gonna get some stuff down there, unless you get some really small plastic bags or something and stick in there, something small. Maybe
How about paper towels?
Watch it stuck down there, you rat bastard. Alright, yeah. Do it so you say, let's stick some paper towels in there and clean that up, and let's clean the plenum up, intake up, and then we're gonna get ready to install that. Next, we'll be right back. Alright guys, and next is our lower and upper intake gasket set. Here's AC Delco, there's the part number right there. So write that down. So the first one we're gonna be using is this thick, heavy duty one. Now on the bottom of it, it has pins for the alignment where they're supposed to go. So it's gonna go down set like that. I'm gonna see if there's 2 different ways, or can it set both ways. Okay, that looks like it's set right there, and it sets right there. So it can go,
Either way.
It can go either way. That's pretty cool. All right, no sealer or anything is needed on that. That's all you gotta do is just set down like that. Then you're gonna take your intake. Now your intake gonna have big pieces right here, these big openings. That's where those parts on the gasket set right there. And I believe, let me see something here, guys. No, I thought they would like stick in there. But no, that ain't gonna work. So let's put this down. Okay, now we're gonna set this down. And how we set this down, I have no idea. Your fuel rail, the line, goes to the back of the engine. So you're just gonna lower it down into it. Make sure the wiring harness is out of the way. And just like that. Now you're going to get the 2 bolts that go on the ends because those gonna keep that in place. We got one, and we got those little bushings in there, but it don't matter if it's on here or down there. It don't matter. It'll push it right down in there. And you just want to screw it in by a couple threads so it's not cross-threaded. And the second one is way back over here. Screw it in by a couple threads. All right, we'll be right back. All right, the next thing we're going to do is install our coils, because if we install our upper plenum, it's going to cover the coils and we're not going to be able to get to them. So remember, we marked them up, R1, R2, whatever, L, whatever, something like that. So go ahead, push them down. You got your 10mm bolt. Start that off by a couple threads and push it down just like that. Let's do one more, and then I want you to put the rest of them in. Push it down, turn it by a couple threads. Make sure you can do that by hand, and that's it. All right, let's get the rest of them in and we'll be right back. All right, we got all our coils down, all our bolts are started in. I'm telling you to take a 10mm deep, 1/4" drive, 1/4" drive ratchet, and a 4" 1/4" drive extension. And these are not super tight, guys. That's all you're gonna do is bring it down till it stops, and then just a little bit more to snug it up. That's all you have to do. All right, we'll do one more, and then you're gonna be on your own for the other 4. Bring it down till it stops, and a little bit more. All right, let's get the rest of the other 4 done, and then we're gonna tackle all this mess you're gonna have hanging around. Even though it looks like a lot and it looks scary, don't worry, we're gonna go through this together. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, this part is very important, because if you miss a ground wire or anything, this car's not gonna run, and then you're gonna be contacting us, and we don't have time for that if you're skipping parts of the video. All right, you wanna start. Just go around, make sure you didn't tuck nothing in nowhere. Everything's good. So we're gonna come over here. Now, we have our negative battery terminal, which is very important. Don't even worry about this one yet. This one's gonna go back here to back of the upper intake, or the plenum, right? And we got our nut and bolt right up there. So we stick that back down to the side. Also, we got down here, tucked in, is our line for our fuel line. Now, if you want, you can go around and just want to make sure nothing's being pulled in around it. That's good. Now, so we're going to start with this harness right here, going to our coils. Now, on the bottom of this, I don't know if you can see, like Christmas tree tabs. On your valve cover, can you see down there?
Yeah.
You got one right there, and then let me see right here. You got one right here. Can you see my finger?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have one right there. As a matter of fact, if you come over this side, you can.
I see it.
So that's all you have to do. Make sure your wiring, all the wiring is out of the way. Get them lined up. And maybe it sucks, because maybe we should have did this before putting the coils in, because this thing is right in the way of the coils are right in the way, and that sucks. So I'm not gonna force it. I'm not gonna force it. What we're gonna do is take these. We're just gonna. We don't have to take the coils out completely. We might have to do the other side as well. But you definitely don't want to force that and break them unnecessarily. Okay. Let's see if I can get them under there now. Okay, and they are down. All right, make sure harness right here. Now, right over here, there's a good lighting.
Oh, where you?
There's this Christmas tree clip.
Oh
right
yeah,
here.
I see that.
There's a bracket right down here behind the can we grab it? So a hole right there.
Yeah, I think I do see it. I think. I'm looking at it right.
There's a hole right there.
Okay, now I see.
So that Christmas tree, we know, goes right there. So that's good. Then we come around, start plugging up our coils. Now to plug these coils up, you just want to push the connector in, and here's our latch over here. So as you push that, get that line up right there, as you push that clip in, it's going to move this up and lock into place.
So plug them up before you put them in?
Right, let's do one more. So you want to push it in till it'll stop, and then you're going to keep pushing pressure on it, and then push this in and lock into place. All right, so let's get our last one done, and then we're going to retighten these coils. All right, we'll be right back.